One Zambia, one nation. This is Zanis News with me, Amos Zulu. Here are the top stories. Government making decision on sugilite mining at Muombe mine in Chembe. Government threatens to terminate title deeds at Yaza Game Ranch for non-compliance. 1.7 million kwacha CDF disbursed to Monze youth clubs and cooperatives. Plus, Northwest PS calls for recognition of sports as a tool for development. Here is the news in detail. Government will soon make a decision concerning the mining of sugilite at Muombe mine in Chembe district of Luapula Province. Luapula Province Minister Njavwa Semutowe says currently there are final testings taking place at the mine to ascertain the amount of sugilite at the mine before mining activities can commence. Kennedy Chomba now reports.
Geologists from the Ministry of Mines and Bayani are conducting last tests at Muombe mine in Chembe district to ascertain their quantity of sugilite which is in the area. These geologists will be at the site for 21 days before they can take the findings to Lusaka for a final report.
So we are here for a period of 22 days. So thereafter, when we dissect the vein, which is expected, we'll have to take those samples to the lab for analysis in Lusaka. So after that analysis is when we can come up with a full geological report that will give the status of exploration activities in this area.
So first and foremost, I would love to thank the government for partnering with us, because the government has really been supportive to make sure that this work moves very well, being security-wise and even the guideline of what we are going to do on the programs. So far, so good. We've just started our work. We've just been on site. We just mobilized on site on Tuesday, and we are on our first hole. Drill, and we've just gone up to 56 meters so far.
Yeah. Luapula Province Minister Njavwa Semutowe has led the Provincial Joint Operations Committee to check on how the geology works are progressing.
I think government is doing its part to see the quantities of this mineral sugilite. When the government finishes this process, then we'll let the public know the way forward. And I would also urge the youths and the people of Luapula, let's wait the government do its part. I think the government is also trying to expedite the process so that people can start benefiting, people of Luapula and the people of Zambia at large.
Luapula Province Permanent Secretary Mike Mumba has called for patience among the people in the province, even as the government awaits to make a decision concerning the mining of sugilite at Muombe mine.
Now, when this team came from Lusaka, there was a lot of speculation. It's not the first team to come from Ministry of Mines. This is the third team, and they are doing the last tests. There's a section of the youth from the province who have been spreading false information to say the people that are here illegally. They are not from the Ministry of Mines, they are criminals, and they've been urging the public, within this area of Muombe, to come and attack the people here.
Muombe mine in Chembe district is believed to have deposits of sugilite, and people are anxious to see proper mining taking place to spark economic activities in the province. Kennedy Chomba, reporting for Zanis News in Chembe district.
Thank you, Kennedy, for that report. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali has directed the Road Transport and Safety Agency, RTSA, to intensify highway patrols during the festive season to reduce on-road accidents. Mr. Tayali says the country records a high number of road accidents during the festive season owing to alcohol abuse, hence the need to ensure increased patrols and sensitization to prevent avoidable accidents and save lives. He said this when he paid a courtesy call on Southern Province Permanent Secretary Namani Monze in Choma.
The increased cases of road carnages worries the government. During this festive season, government is determined to ensure that road safety rules and regulations are observed by all road users. And the Minister of Transport and Logistics, Frank Tayali, is in Southern Province to monitor how Road Transport and Safety Agency is implementing road patrols and sensitizations.
In my continued promotion of road safety, we are taking road safety very, very seriously, and I'm here to check on my officers through the Road Transport and Safety Office agency to ensure that during this period we up our game. It is very important that presence of the officers must be seen on the roads. I think that your presence alone acts as a deterrent to would-be road traffic rules offenders.
Mr. Tayali has warned all road users to observe road rules and regulations during this festive season.
Zambia's road safety profile is not something that we should be proud of. Yes, we've experienced a reduction in the number of both crashes and fatalities, but it is important that we do not let our guard down, that we have to continue to continuously improve so that our safety profile improves along.
Meanwhile, Southern Province Administration is grateful to the Transport and Logistics Minister for choosing Southern Province to celebrate Christmas by monitoring road patrols.
Thank you for choosing to celebrate with us the festive season in this manner. As a province, we also, I think, record fatalities during this festive season. But with the presence of your ministry, your officers, we want to believe working with the media, people will know that the government is serious, and they will conduct themselves in a manner that will help us save lives.
Correct.
Remember, don't drink and drive, and ensure your vehicle is roadworthy. Gift Banj, Zanis in Choma, Southern Province.
And transporters in Choma district have commended government for reintroducing police security checkpoints in designated areas within the province. Choma District Taxi Drivers Association Vice Chairperson Sylvester Sikute says the move is commendable and will not only improve the safety of the public, but also improve the security of motorists and other road users. Here's a report.
The need for enhanced security on major roads cannot be overemphasized. This not only promotes the security of motorists, but other road users as well, and also reduces incidences of criminal activities on high roads. It is with this view that the Zambia Police has introduced security checkpoints in designated areas across the country, a move that has elated transporters in Southern Province.
Turarumba maningi guhurumende kuti anda kuti Joseph yama checkpoint tegwa uberega mbudindi swedma taxi drivers bani amuna abantu kase chegwa mamota.
We are pleased that the police will now bring back security checkpoints. This will actually ensure the safety and security of us, the PSV drivers and the passengers.
Imuzezo nguba yeya wakuti ba police ba checkpoint muzezo muboto. Ndiza amantenda araje yaje.
However, the transporters have raised some concerns.
Kufunika che babwerera che pa checkpoint not yakutati As
drivers, we are also appealing to the traffic police to desist from suddenly driving from behind us as we are driving on the highway with their sirens on. These kind of maneuvers can easily lead to loss of concentration and also accidents.
Liseli Simusole, Zanis in Choma District, Southern Province.
In our health news, the 276 newly recruited health workers in Central Province have started receiving their appointment letters. And Central Province Permanent Secretary Miuna Mwanakampwe, who addressed the health workers, has taken a swipe at the workers that pay money to get a job. Take a look.
On behalf of everyone here, we are so thankful for the job offer and we'll do our best.
She has waited for 7 years to have an opportunity to be employed as a health worker. Enid Mansa is grateful to the Republican President. Central Province Permanent Secretary Miuna Mwanakampwe has addressed the newly recruited health workers.
Temptations that as young people we may misuse these jobs. There are temptations that we are getting into these jobs for money. Yours is a calling. I hope I'm trying to make myself clear, and I'm using my blood to speak to you. Yours is a calling, a noble cause. Nurses, clinical officers, maybe doctors. But I know that yours should not be compromised for a loaf of bread.
The permanent secretary has taken a swipe at health workers that pay to get a job.
None of you should produce a coin in order to get a job here. If you produced a coin somewhere, quietly walk through my office, we talk one-on-one. We will not remove you from the list, but we want to unclog with the bottlenecks if anyone is charging people in order to get jobs. So
Assistant Secretary Mwapeka Sanda is the responsible officer for vetting the documents for the newly appointed employees.
So I'm working late. I'm not asking for anything because it's my job. Okay? So that's why I want to ensure that the letters are ready. You collect your letters, you go home. I know how desperate you've been.
The union has commended government for the development.
Otherwise, we are really happy that such a thing is happening. The promises that they gave to people, they've come into fruition now. So please keep it up.
Daniel Billy, Zanis News, in Kabwe, Central Province.
Still in health news, the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, says the drug stock availability in the country has improved, standing at 60%. ZAMSA Director General Victor Nyasulu says the drug stock availability is at 40% by mid-year 2023, with significant improvement of 60% by broadcast time. Mr. Nyasulu said this today during a press briefing. During his end-of-year press briefing, President Hakainde Hichilema commended the Minister of Health, Sylvia Masebo, for having primary health care facilities reporting 80% stock availability.
As at mid-2023, ZAMSA stock availability was around 40%. And as at the time I began acting as Director General in August, it had moved by 4% to 44%. As we close the year, we are pleased to announce to the nation that the central warehouse stock availability now stands at 60%. This has been achieved through procurements conducted in collaboration with the United Nations, such as UNICEF and UNFPA, the G2G Egyptian deal, and ZAMSA is currently conducting or evaluating a mop-up exercise to buy ex-stock medicines that are in the country. When successfully completed, this mop-up strategy should assist ZAMSA, together with the other initiatives we have engaged in, we should easily reach the WHO recommended 70% stock availability at the center.
We take a break. Stay tuned for more news.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
Now, government has threatened to terminate a title deed belonging to Yazar Game Ranch, situated in Lusangazi district of Eastern Province, for perceived victimization of the local people. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Elijah Muchima says while the government appreciates and welcomes investment, it must not come at the cost of making ordinary citizens' lives difficult.
Residents of Chivale in Chief Sandwes Chiefdom of Lusangazi district in the Eastern Province are living in fear on account that they are being victimized by an investor operating a game ranch.
Mavuto kuno kwasu ya game ranch yatikulira IMP muri hapa.
As I'm here,
as they promised us, they will not chase anyone. As I'm talking to you, Honorable Minister, other people have been chased from their places just because they extended their farms.
So vakuti tugwirizana nawo ayaza yayi kuliye mgwirizano uli wonse.
Yaza Game Ranch was issued with a title deed for 19,000 hectares by government in 2020 and is said to be stopping residents from carrying out even farming activities. Government, through Lands and Natural Resources Minister Elijah Mchima, has stepped in to bring harmony among the two parties, warning that government will not allow any investor to victimize poor citizens.
We are against the people who come, get a title deed and start troubling the people when we are the owners of the land. This land is your land. It is yours from God. You are born here, you have entitlement here. We need to find a permanent solution. We need investors who can respect you. We need investors who can live with you. Of course we need investment, but we need respect first and foremost.
The government should act because this is people's land. And me, siningavomere kuti vantu vangava muvachose kamba kosunga nyama. Chiri bwino tichoseko nyama tisiye vantu.
Chief Sandwe, on the other hand, calls for an amicable end to this situation.
At the same time, we need the game ranch. Yes, at the same time, we need that game ranch. But also, people must not be deprived. But how to strike the balance is what I don't know.
Yaza Game Ranch manager Mark Armstrong says some community members have been willingly selling their pieces of land to them, a statement which was highly opposed to by the residents at a public meeting held at Chivale Primary School.
Last year, wanaenda weka kwa mfumo nisho after alima kali after atema kali wanapempa kwa mfumo ata kai tashanga kali tipempa go chape this year tikachosa bon lima tizachoka hapo olona mama ameni mnapeleka pe tinakamisa na mairo mnaninguza ta koma sindine ni mwamuna wange manji chikwati nasila so epe inaleta masokoneza.
The meeting was also attended by Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole, Lusangazi Town Council Chairperson Blackson Tembo, and Lusangazi District Commissioner Mike Tembo. Kalan Muchima reporting for Zanis in Lusangazi District.
Government says it is emphatic on the need for Zambia to unlock rigidities and disband obstacles that stand in the way of economic transformation. Minister of Labor and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba said this when she toured Lusaka South Multi-Facility Economic Zone and 3 other industries to appreciate the feasibility of a 24-hour business operation in Zambia.
Minister of Labor and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba is optimistic that Zambia's economic transformation agenda will be fruitful when industries and companies extend operating hours by providing a 24-hour service. She toured the Lusaka South Multi-Facility Economic Zone, British America Tobacco Zambia, Keda Zambia Ceramic Tiles Limited, Trade Kings Group of Companies, and Hungry Lion Store at Lewanika Mall to appreciate the night shifts being conducted to enhance productivity.
The President has made a policy statement, has provided direction. What remains is for us to look at the current legislation that is available in the various player ministries, Commerce, Trade and Industry, Finance, Labor and Social Security. For Ministry of Labor, we already are looking at the Employment Code Act that will determine these work hours, and so we've been given the leeway by Cabinet in principle to receive stakeholder contributions, ideas. So we are consulting so that we move into recalibrating this and re-engineering it to ensure that it's responsive to the needs of this moment.
The public is advised to invest at the Lusaka South Multi-Facility Economic Zone, which stands on a 2 hectares land in order to contribute to the economic transformation agenda and create more job opportunities.
If you're coming into this area and you're bringing in equipment or raw material, you pay no duty on that. For the first 10 years of your operations, if you're exporting products, you would not pay any taxes on that, and those are some of the incentives that we're working with.
The minister emphasized on the need for industries and companies to adhere to the labor laws and legal frameworks.
We do our compliance checks and we make sure for our factory that we are operating at the highest level. And I think we confidently say that our compliance culture is at the center as well of everything that we do.
Mijelo Mwemba reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
In other news, authorities in Lavushmanda district of Muchinga province are happy with the positive social and economic impact of the transforming landscapes for resilience and development TRALAD that it has made in the district. Lavushmanda District Commissioner Terry Skunda says the TRALAD project has made tremendous changes in the livelihood of the people in the district.
The various developmental projects that are being implemented by Transformational Landscape for Resilience and Development TRALAD in Lavushmanda district of Muchinga province have cheered the residents in the area. Lavushmanda District Commissioner Terry Skunda is happy that TRALAD projects are promoting critical social and economic activities, including assisting a number of groups and clubs with alternative livelihood activities.
Here in Lavushmanda, they have done a number of projects, which includes chicken rearing, pig rearing, and goat rearing. People of Lavushmanda have really appreciated this. And economically in Lavushmanda, it is at least ticking.
Meanwhile, Lavushmanda District Administrative Officer Maurice Kabanda is elated that TRALAD has constructed 6 staff houses and 2 bulking centers in the district.
Support that we have received, I think this is giving us hope and is being self-reliant. Instead of going to Mpika to store our maize there, to store our produce there, now we'll be storing that in Lavushmanda. Through the TRALAD project, support has gone to the Department of National Parks, where they have provided accommodation, and I think they are providing more accommodation which is according to the program the way it is.
Tubalange Group 12 is one success story from TRALAD supported groups in Lavushmanda district.
Tendekene nkumba ishiri 6 shashire kwata abana abali 28 pamo shonse shashire ba 43 pali 43 apa twalichita passion ba member bonse twale bapera 22.
Reporting for Zanis in Lavushmanda, I'm Peter Piri.
2,000 people in Mambwe district of Eastern Province are said to benefit from a nutritional enhancement project implemented by Plan International Zambia. This came to light during the launch of the 5.8 million kwacha Sustainable Food Security and Nutrition Enhancement SFN project in Mambwe. Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri, who graced the occasion, noted that the impact of climate change, such as extreme weather patterns, have adversely affected agricultural production and productivity.
The ravages of climate change has continued to affect various communities in Eastern Province by destroying people's homes as well as fields. To this effect, Plan International Zambia has flagged off the mass distribution of food and non-food materials under the Sustainable Food Security and Nutrition Enhancement Project to families that have been affected by floods. The ceremony, held in Mambwe, was graced by Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri.
It is of great joy that we are all gathered here today to witness the official flagging off of the assorted non-food and food materials from Plan International Zambia under the Sustainable Food Security and Nutrition Enhancement Project, SFN, which is being implemented in Mambwe, Vubwi, and Chadiza districts of Eastern Province. The Sustainable Food Security Project is 1-year emergency response initiative which is being implemented from September 2023 to September 2024 at a total cost of 300,000 euros, translating into approximately 5.8 million Zambian kwacha. Its main project goal is to address the immediate food needs, resilient building, and child protection risks in the affected communities.
Plan International Zambia Eastern Province Program Area Manager Dennis Limbani outlines the objectives of the project.
Plan International, with the funding from the German National Office, designed and also began the implementation of the project called Sustainable Food Security and Nutritional Enhancement Project in September 2023 in Mambe District, in Chadiza and Vobe districts.
And the affected families have commended Plan International for the initiative.
I am so thankful for the food items I've just received through the government and the other cooperating partners, the Plan International helping me having this food. It will go a long way in helping me. As you see the way I'm unable to work. I don't do anything. I'm just seated at home. I'm being helped by well-wishers, church members, and other people who show mercy to me. So that's how I live.
Neo natemwa ngako natemwa nikaliona posoti kuti minikhalira kutola ku vinthu minifumira mwakaunda mpaka kufika ino nthawi nakondwa chendi musalekeja yayi kuchita viweme tete na amene aliko ofuna utiyavye atiyavye ngako tianchiweme ngako nalumba.
Sylvester Chimba for Zanis in Mambo District, Eastern Province.
We take another break. Stay tuned.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
Monze Central Member of Parliament Jack Mwimbu has handed over checks worth over 1.7 million kwacha constituency development funds to 72 youths and women clubs and cooperatives. Mr. Mwimbu has since advised the recipients of the funds to put them into good use, such as bettering their lives.
Government has continued to empower citizens through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, across the country. Here in Monze, Area Member of Parliament Jack Mwimbu handed over checks worth more than 1 million of the 2023 CDF grants to 72 clubs and cooperatives under the third quarter.
Iwa banamali tajwe mugwa yape tego kwamba mumbongere wabere inojerere utitiga kuti mwabeza mali mwajita mpindu mali gayo.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mwimbu has assured residents that the government would provide relief food to households facing hunger in the district.
Kuti kulinzala mumizo koi twayandaula nzira ya kukwahirira ibatu kuti batakwinzala ina utika kwinzala pe buli yowo ya kukwahirira abantu bamwe bayakuberegera byachakulya bamajembere bali kuhora.
Through the dedication of our new Dawn government, we are providing funds through CDF grants to help alleviate poverty and improve the lives of families in our community. And these grants represent hope for a better future.
The program ya kupegwa madi. Program ya kupegwa malo. Program ya kutibana banke wikolo bagayi. Program ya kutibana babeba sekwe bagite ya kumwala ya kuyaga ya kujitabuti. Tijagaliku. Jabora Munyu John Government.
One of the recipients of the grants thanked the government for empowering them. Frederick Macha for Zanis News in Monze District, Southern Province.
Government, through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, is constructing a 1x3 classroom block at Ndunga Primary School in Shimpandanga in Mufumbwe District of Northwestern Province at a cost of 697,000 kwacha. Mufumbwe Member of Parliament Elliot Kamondo disclosed that the decision to construct the classroom block was arrived at after seeing children learning from a deplorable mud structure at the school.
In the heart of Northwestern Province, nestled about 550 kilometers south of Mufumbwe Central Business District, a transformative initiative is taking shape at Ndunga Primary School in Shimpandanga Ward. The government, through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, is making another significant stride in the education sector by constructing a 1x3 classroom block at the cost of 697,485 kwacha. Mufumbwe Constituency Member of Parliament Elliot Kamondo and his Tuareg visited the school and is happy with the work so far.
CDF indeed is a game changer. If people have not seen actually what CDF is doing, it has really improved and equalized actually the standard of living with those that are there who are privileged to go to school. Because as long as we don't improve actually the status here, look at the school where they were access and you compare to this one. You are able, sometimes I used to feel like crying because I would know that I think there is need here. So, in the nutshell, I think we appreciate the works that are being done by this contractor.
While the contractor promises to complete works by the end of December 2023, local residents have expressed their gratitude for the positive change unfolding in their community.
Jishupiko ja mema kutuna kufumia mema kwa repa olo kwamba tulete cement furu papo nimvula yanoka so ikubuking attractor kufumia ku road kuleta kuno but furu kupwisha apo tunakupwisha yenka uno mweji kwa sharatu mafuroni chitu apwisha miru itumeza kwa msebezo woba ezebo MP balu na boka mondo se kona skolo sele bantu saba na balu na se mise sibona la kulikesi fera hulu chwale kwa msebezo woba ezize balu ya hezwa tenskolo sesinzi kwa sibona la kwale miru itumeza hulu kwa msebezi bakwele pili balu tuseo na chwalo kulibana balu na basike banyanda hulu.
The impact of this project extends beyond bricks and mortar. It signifies a broader commitment to narrowing educational disparities, ensuring that every child, regardless of their geographic location, has access to quality education. John Mohanga reporting for Zanis Mufumbwe District in Northwestern Province.
John Mohanga with that report. Now, Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata has called for concerted efforts in fighting teenage pregnancies and early marriages that have rocked Rufunsa District. Speaking when he addressed district heads of department at Impasha Mission Hospital, Mr. Kamalata says reports that the district in 2023 alone recorded 187 cases of teenage pregnancies and 98 early marriages is saddening. He has commended the District Education Board Secretary Teddy Chibwe for managing to withdraw some girls from marriages and taking them back to school.
Education Board Secretary Debs Teddy Chiwe disclosed that in 2023 alone, 187 teenage pregnancies and early marriages were recorded.
Out of those that got pregnant and possibly got early marriages, we managed to have re-entries of 80 of them.
Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata is saddened by the large number of teenage pregnancies and children dropping out of school.
187 is too big a number for us to keep quiet. I'm appealing to Office of the District Commissioner and your team here, other stakeholders, the royal establishments, non-governmental organizations, to come on board to start sensitizing our girl children.
Meanwhile, Mr. Kamalata has handed over foodstuff and non-food items to the Rufonsa District Administration under the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU.
This should go to the beneficiaries. Thank you. We don't want to find these items in people's homes. And when I say people's home, I mean civil servants. So this should go to the people that deserve to have them. And, this is public money, and it has to be put to good use.
I thank the disaster management for these donations which have come at the right time.
Beatrice Infla reporting for Zanis in Rufonsa District.
You are watching Zanis News, and thank you so much for still staying with us. Lukasha Trades Institute Principal Kefas Chitasho says the institute has generated over 23 million kwacha revenue this year from the Constituency Development Fund CDF supported programs. Mr. Chitasho disclosed that the revenue has been generated from the rehabilitation of school desks and the enrollment of students. He has further explained that the introduction of CDF bursaries has resulted in increased enrollment of students, thereby increasing the institution's revenue.
The implementation of President Hakainde Hichilema's directive of making school desks locally has turned Lukasha Trades in Kasama into a Manespina. Just this year alone, the institution has benefited over 23 million kwacha from the making of desks and the increased enrollment of students sponsored using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. The funds generated from CDF programs has helped the trade school to be financially stable and meet some of its obligations, such as paying salaries on time, which was not the case before the presidential directive was made to manufacture desks locally.
Now we are having a revenue of about 23,211,657.07 as of today. This is the revenue that we have collected from January to date, all because of CDF. So you could see that it's not just in the number of students, but also the revenue as tripled. Members of staff are getting paid on time. There are no delays because we are getting some revenue from the payments that are made under CDF.
The trade school has been engaged by the Ministry of Education to rehabilitate broken desks in all the 12 districts in Northern Province.
For Lukasha Trades Training Institute, CDF, it's not a scam. CDF, it's real. This CDF that has come, it has come to change a number of things within our communities and even in our institutions.
Some of the former students who were sponsored under CDF have been employed by the trade school and are now using their skills to earn a living. Lukasha Trades is an example of what CDF can do to an institution if well managed and applied. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makodza.
We take our last break. Join us for sports news.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
Justice Minister Mulambo Haimbe says he will lobby for the release of some seized vehicles from the Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, to address transport challenges facing the protective unit, stressing that this will be in the interim. Mr. Haimbe says the move is aimed at addressing the transport challenges that the police protective unit has been facing in its daily operations. The minister revealed this when he officiated at the Police Protective Unit annual ball at Lilai College in Lusaka. And Mr. Haimbe, who is also Lusaka Central Member of Parliament, observed that the Protective Unit is an important wing of the police which handles affairs of top government officials. Police Protective Unit Commanding Officer Fred Hamamba highlighted some of the strides being made by the unit to strengthen its capacity for the betterment of officers.
Indeed, I have observed personally that there is one particular vehicle that is assigned to ministerial duties. Day and night, the same officers keep coming with the same vehicle and they are stretched in relation to the duties that they perform, at least to my knowledge. So I accept that indeed there must be some more radical steps that need to be taken to address this challenge. Whilst we agree, commanding officer, that we shall put our heads together as members of parliament, I can see Honorable Angaleki is nodding his head. There are also other measures that we can put in place, and I have in mind the various vehicles and other assets that are seized as part of forfeiture of proceeds of crime. I know for a fact, for example, that several vehicles were recently seized by your sister unit, the Drug Enforcement Commission. I now pledge that I will lobby with the Director of Public Prosecutions and with the Director General of DEC to ensure that some of those vehicles are released for the use of the PU. That is an interim measure that will help to resolve the challenges that we are currently facing. Let me close by stressing that criminal behavior and misconduct has no place in Zambia. The public we serve expects the highest professional and personal standards from all of us. And I have no doubt with my interaction with the PU that you are at the top of service for our country.
This is a moment where we share our emotional experiences as we reflect on our performance, our successes, and the pitfalls during the year. It is also a time to plan for our future, ponder on our challenges, how to overcome them in the new year while sharing a light moment.
Zambia Army Commander Lieutenant General Stanley Alibuzwi has censured the soldiers to refrain from engaging in partisan politics. Speaking during the Mutez 2023 annual ball, Lieutenant General Alibuzwi says soldiers must at all times be loyal to the government of the day and the people of Zambia.
Annual balls have a long-standing history and synonyms with military establishments. The 2023 military training establishment of Zambia, Mutez Senior Officers Annual Ball, was nothing but a symbol of meticulous by the men and women in uniform. Army Commander Lieutenant General Stanley Alibuzwi graced the function and reminded the officers of the threat posed by HIV and AIDS pandemic.
Allow me to remind you of the HIV/AIDS pandemic, which has not spared us. It has continued to ravage the rank and file, and it still remains a scourge that we should always talk about. Instead, we should be champions in the fight against the scourge and adopt responsible behavior.
Lieutenant General Alibuzwi also counseled the officers against abusing the social media and being the perpetrators of gender-based violence.
Please do not fall prey to the abuse of social media. And while on this point, let me warn you to stay away from all sorts of internet scamming and bullying. But I urge you to desist from all forms of gender-based violence in your homes. We still have officers who practice gender-based violence.
And military training establishment of Zambia, Mutez, MES President Colonel Douglas Piri says plans are underway to construct a banquet hall that will cut on cost of hiring tents during events.
I have to mention that plans are underway, of course, with the help of command, to have one such facility built in the establishment. The facility to be constructed will be able to accommodate 1,000 guests, and once built, the facility will enable members of the establishment to move away from the issue of hiring architects for use for any future functions which will be held in the establishment.
Military Training Establishment of Zambia, Meute's Commandant, Brigadier General Hedon Mwilu, thanked the Army Command for the support.
For the immense financial and material support rendered to the establishment throughout the year. I also thank you, sir, for the strategic guidance given to us, which made our work much easier.
Zanis reports in Kabwe, Central Province.
And on a sad note, President Hakainde Hichilema has sent his message of condolences to the family of Dr. Martin Musokotwane, who was the board chairperson of the Zambia Flying Doctor Service. Dr. Musokotwane died on December 20th, 2023, after an illness. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo, who represented President Hichilema at the funeral, said Dr. Musokotwane will not only be missed by the family, but also the United Party for National Development.
Minister for Health Sylvia Masebo and Copper Belt Province Minister Elisha Matambo today led mourners at New Apostolic Church in Ndola to pay their last respect to Dr. Martin Musokotwane, who died after an illness on 20th December. Dr. Musokotwane, who was born in 1967, was until his death a board member of the Zambia Flying Doctor Service. Ms. Masebo, who represented President Hakainde Hichilema at the funeral, described Dr. Musokotwane as a pillar to the family and the United Party for National Development.
Martin's death is a great loss, not only to his family and his mother, sister, and wife and children, but I know that he's going to really be missed by the party because of the great contributions that he made towards the party before we got into government, but even after we got into government, Martin continued to support all of us. And I feel sorry for my chairman here because I know how much him and Martin were very close.
Copper Belt Minister Elisha Matambo described the life of Dr. Musokotwane.
Just like he has been described by others, this was a fighter. He was a fighter in all the spheres. He was a fighter in terms of mobilizing funds. He was a fighter when it comes to his business. He was a fighter when it comes to the party of BND. He was a fighter in uniting people too.
The widow, Diana Musokotwane, who spoke through her sister, describes the memories of her late husband.
Through the highs and lows, you stood by my side, offering unwavering support and love. Your kindness, compassion, and selflessness touched the lives of everyone we encountered. Our journey together was filled with countless moments of joy, laughter, and shared dreams. Every day spent in your presence was a gift, and I am forever grateful for the love we shared. Your warm smile, gentle touch, and loving words, you forever be etched in my heart.
The Zambia Flying Doctor Service Chief Executive Officer, Dr. George Inguni, is saddened that the success of the institution is not complete without the contribution of the late Dr. Musokotwane.
Dr. Martin Musokotwane was our committee chairperson for the finance committee, which was responsible for financial mobilization so that number one, we can ensure that the aviation equipment is properly maintained and we've got sufficient equipment to be able to go deep in the rural areas and provide those services. Remember, the services for those years, we could only do 5 or 3 outreaches in a year. we reached a point where we are able to conduct over 8-9 outreaches in 1 month, servicing over 30,000 patients, when in the past only 2,000 or 3,000 patients can be serviced.
The New Apostolic Church, Ndola Central District Rector Clever Mumbe comforted the mourners.
When you try to run away from it, it will find you because the time has come. So the time has come for our brother. He has gone. So what is the message to his family? Don't mourn for me. Mourn for yourself. For to me it is finished. Dear brothers and sisters, dear respected mourners. So we want to know. We want to prepare ourselves.
The late Dr. Msokotwane has been buried at Kansenyi Cemetery. He is surely gone, but his memories and contributions will still be embedded in his family, the Zambia Flying Doctor Service, and the United Party for National Development members. Tovini Ngombe, Zanis, Ndola.
We now move to sports, where Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Grandson Katambi says there is need to recognize sports as a tool for socio-economic development in the country. Colonel Katambi says if well harnessed, sport can lead to employment and the well-being of citizens. He said this during the provincial stakeholders consultative meeting on the 2023 Draft National Sports Policy Review held in Solwezi. And we end the news on that note, but before we go, a reminder of the top stories. Government making decision on Sugilite mining at Muombe mine in Chembe. Government threatens to terminate title deed at Yaza Game Ranch for non-compliance. 1.7 million kwacha CDF disbursed to Monza youth clubs and cooperatives. Plus, Northwest PS calls for recognition of sports as a tool for development. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Amos Zulu. Enjoy the rest of the programming. Bye-bye.